is in the house with us. He's a member of Cameroon Civil Society. Good evening. We're glad to have you.
Good evening, Leonard. Good evening, co-panelists, and good evening to the million viewers of Prime R. It's a pleasure to share the platform and to talk, especially at this time and at this point in time when there is heat and a lot of things to talk about in the political panorama of Cameroon. Good evening, especially good evening to the people of Boyo Division, especially Ginicom Subdivision.
We also have Tamai Jarvis with us. Good evening, Jarvis. He's sitting in for Barrister Akwen, who is still on. Okay, Barrister Akwen is here, but good evening, Tamai Jarvis.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. Good evening to Song Derek. Good evening to the different civil society stakeholders who are trying their best to make sure that Cameroon becomes a nation for peace and harmony. I want to actually also wish good evening to the president of the Catholic University of Boya, in the person of Reverend Father Bartholomew Anyawu. I want to also wish good evening to the Bishop of Boya, His Lordship Michael Bibi, and to the peace-loving people of Way Village, those in Trikona and those in Wum, those in Wendu. Good evening to you all. And of course, it is a moment where we have to take pause and reflect as to what binds us, what brings us together as a nation, respectfully disagreeing to agree, because we are in a land where thy worth not one can tell. Let us preach thy worth of accountability, fairness, equity, and equality.
Okay. We also have Barrister Akwen, who is part of tonight's edition of the program. As she takes a seat, we're going to be introducing her very shortly. But I start with you, Song Derek. Once again, good evening. How have you observed so far the political activities of the pre-campaign political activities of political parties?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kum. The first thing is that what I've realized is that our politicians are seasonal politicians. Okay. They are politicians that sleep all through political office and then only rise up when there is a campaign or when there is presidential election. Majority of them. Because you bear with me that we are at a point in time where Cameroonians have cried for a coalition over and over, and the opposition has not heard that cry. At this point in time, we see a lot of them moving from one region to the other because it's campaign time, not because they have something to say or a vision to sell. But Cameroonians must understand that it's a very critical position. It's a very critical moment where, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you that we have been crying and asking who we are going to vote. But we must be critical to understand that we need somebody who has a vision, we need somebody who has credibility, and we need somebody who has connection to the masses. And this connection to the masses is not something that comes during campaign. Connection of the masses is something that is lived day to day. Connection of the masses is something that we have people who have to experience that every other day, not because they are aspirants of the presidency, but because they are people-centered and want Cameroon to get better.
Okay. Good evening, Barrister. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. I'm happy to be here. It has not been easy. The traffic, it's something that the authorities should look into it because of the nature of our bad roads. I took more than an hour just from Bonaberi to be here. If it's not funny, Cameroonians are actually suffering. And we're expecting that those presidential aspirants, they are saying the problems that they are coming to solve, and Cameroonians have their eyes and ears on them to see that what they are promising now in their pre-elections campaign, they are going to fulfill it. Not like they are telling us, give us 7 more years, we will perfect that which we didn't perfect.
Yes.
Good evening to my fellow panelists. I'm glad to see all of you.
Yes. Where according to you, these guys position themselves How have our political parties positioned themselves already so far in the pre-campaign period, this pre-campaign period?
To be honest with you, Mr. Leo and our fellow viewers, these guys look, there seems to be some stage clown. They are behaving like some Michelle Kankang that's all come to the scene to come and animate. That they are coming to animate the scene. But we are saying that this is not a period where we need animators. We need people who are prepared to carry Cameroon towards Vision 35 and to help us realize the sustainable development goals and to win the confidence of Cameroonians, whom I know majority have lost confidence in the present regime. But what do we have? We have some, I don't know whether to describe them as mushroom in the month of April that just appear when rain starts to drop and then thereafter they disappear, or to describe some of them as like Dr. Zingraf. You know, when Zingraf arrived Cameroon, he was so strange. They say, where does he come from? You remember in our storybooks, we read about the fun of Bamesing and the fun of Babesi, who were describing Zingraf. They say, where does he come from? How does he look like? But then the other fun was answering, oh, he has double eyes. Nobody knows where he wants, know where he even comes from. That is how some of those political aspirants are. We don't even know where they come from. We are hearing their names for the first time and we're asking, are these people actually persons who are serious to take Cameroon to the next level? When they just do their appearance like Zingraf, what have they been waiting for all these years? Let me give you an example that I just followed up the other day. Our Bamen, Northwest brother, is it Caxon? Yes, Seta. When I heard that name, my pastor's name is Seta. My pastor is coming from Bengui. I immediately called him. I said, Pastor, is that your brother? He told me that name, is it though it is their family name, but he doesn't know him. And we are talking about a proximity, but he will investigate, don't get right?
He's from Momo.
Yeah, he's from Momo. He's from Bengui. My pastor is from Bengui. Same with Seta Caxon. He doesn't know him. They have the same familiar names. My pastor told me, I will investigate and get back to you. And by the time we discovered that this guy was from Bomi and Nyen, it is just like inside this Bonamusadi, you have Bonangang, you have this other neighborhood. And from this, yes, you just have them at proximities. How come that he didn't know this guy? So if he is not known within his own place of birth, within his own neighborhood, his own subdivision, his own division, and even in the Northwest, whereas how will he expect somebody in Mokolo in the north to know him? And so these are some of the issues that they are quite annoying. You ask whether have they just come for a stage play? Have they been bought to come and challenge those who are actually serious? What have they come to do? Where have they been? Where are they coming from now? And we are talking about the presidential election. Amongst the 13 candidates, there is just one that will survive the challenge. And then somebody who is not known anywhere just merges. Is it not to disrupt the process, and they are doing their campaign at this nick of time? Are they really serious? That's my question. Are they serious? Okay.
What has been your observation? We see Bilo Buba Maigari. He was in Adamawa and has been moving around. Today he's going down to Betwa. We saw Issa Chiroma Bakari in the north, already pre-campaign activities. And then we saw Ateki Caxton, who was in Pomenda, he was in Boya yesterday, and he's in Douala as we speak for some media audiences. We have seen Barrister Keremuna making moves out of Cameroon and back, and other persons to say that we're going to see an animated campaign period.
Of course, it's going to be very animative. Somehow I share the view of Barrister Akwe, somehow, in terms of description of what is happening along the lines of the opposition. With the Bello Buba, I think there is coherent with Bello Buba, because actually you could see the movement, you could see there was mobilization ahead of time, and you actually see that, okay, he has a structure, a base. He started with his base. He has a structure. Chuguma, the same thing. He has a base, and on the structure. And with Barrister Kere also, he has been, before now, he has been moving. He has been moving. It's not now before they started depositing documents, Barrister Kere has been moving from one place to another, talking to people to try to build a base. But when you come to the other candidates, I share the views of Barrister Akwenye, because the truth is, it's like comedy. It's becoming comic. Let us look at what happened in Bamenda. Yes.
We are not. I really don't want us to do.
Okay. Okay. I understand now. Let me just in a broad perspective.
Yes.
If we look at the broad perspective, candidates need to actually understand that within this period of presidential campaign, pre-campaign activities, there's something that we need to call what we call information session. And these information sessions are very important in terms of first teaching the voters the different fabrics of what they will see ahead of the electoral process. For example, they have to tell the voters that, you know what, these are the number of polling stations we have, this is our material that we have, and also have to have a listening session with the people. If anybody tells some candidates at this level that they can win a national election, I think that person must have lied to them, because the reality is on the ground. Like Barrister was saying, people have to build their base, but building your base doesn't mean that you don't just come from the nick of time and you say, okay, let me just start moving. When you're moving, the aspect of moving is important, but you have to move and stay there, move to different divisions. It's not just to move to one particular area. For example, let's say I was in Douala today. After Douala, I'm in Yaoundé. After Yaoundé, there are a lot of areas that I have to move.
But Douala is too large. If you were to really tour Douala, can you do that in a week? Because if you have to come to Bonamusadi itself is complex.
You can do it.
You have to go to New Bell. You have to go to Yassa. You have to.
This is what the chairman was doing. The chairman, when the chairman is coming here in Bonamusadi, he has 30 minutes here. They have already mobilized the people in Bonamusadi.
As he's finishing here,
he's going to Bonaberi. As he's finishing Bonaberi, he's going to the next level
to
Suza. Before the day runs out, the chairman had made at least 6 or 7 stops. Then now, wherever night reaches, he rests. Because if you have to go stop by stop from one day, you will not be able to achieve. And that's why we say that the base is very important. Because if you have the base, their base mobilizes their people for you, and you work on time. You know that, okay, in 30 minutes time I'll be here, in an hour time I'll be here, in an hour time. That's why we are saying that it doesn't just suffice to just go to one regional headquarter and stay there and just say, okay, I came and I listened to the people. You have to make a plan of action in a way that this is a pre-electoral moment where people don't even know you. So when you get to, let's say a candidate gets to Boya, once you get to Boya, you finish with the main street in Moliko, and at the same time you are going to Monya, you are finishing from Monya, you are going to Lesoka, you are finishing from Lesoka. That is, you spend a full week in Boya. Then you can be sure that at least you have made known your face, especially for candidates who just came at the nick of time when they were depositing documents that they are running for president. For people like who are flagship, who are people who already know their names, who are household names, it will be easier for them. But for the newcomers, you don't just move from one town to another. You are wasting resources. I call it a wasting of resources because, like Barrister Agon was saying, if you move, let's say you move from, let me take Momo for example. When you go to Momo division, you have Bengui, you have Acha, you have Tuki, you have Oshe, you have Nyen, you have Emwa, you have Kun, you have Atong, you have Konda, you have Nguo,
you have Mbemi.
You see all these areas. They are not just an area where
that's just Metaland. You go now to Mogamo.
Where you have to say Akaninku, all those kind of places.
You have Guzang.
So in that area, and the villages are not linear where you can say that, okay, you can just talk to this church like that, you can walk. You have to finish it, go one valley, you descend, you climb, it takes time. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that we need to see this candidate invest time.
Can we say that from what he is saying, it comes back to what we said earlier on. We said to run for presidential elections, you need national, divisional, and subdivisional representation, because these now are the works of your arms, your existing arms, because you cannot do all of this. Take Momo, if you were to go around Momo for 1 week, You may not be able because of the bad road condition, and say you are going to Akwaya and then coming to Manfi and all of that.
Yes, Mr. Liu, we have said it repeatedly that politics is from the grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
It is now that we hear some political party want to install or implement or implant their headquarters in some regions.
Mm-hmm.
It is now when there is election. Whereas 7 years after you lost an election, you prepare, that's in the Cameroon context, you prepare for the next 7 years to fight back. But on the electoral year, it is that time that we hear that a particular political party wants to plant its headquarters in the northwest, in the southwest, in whatever region. At what time will it take for people to understand the ideology, the philosophy of that party? It's going to take time. And also, a lot of politicians or newcomers get to cities. You visit Bamenda Center, and it's like you visited the northwest region. It doesn't work that way, because voters are not all implanted in the city. You visit Boya, it's like you visited the whole southwest region, whereas there is Kumba, there is Ekondo Titi, there is Mbonge, there are those villages out there who don't know about you. And it brings us to the point and to say that the Cameroonian politics seems to be very, very immature. There's a lot of immaturity in our politics. Our politicians seems to slip all through the governing president's term, and then are awake when presidential elections are announced. If not, why is it that after a serious landslide in Bafoussam, no opposition or limited number of persons are there? There is fire outbreak at the douche. We don't have an opposition leader who visits. There are people, internally displaced people. We don't have any opposition party or any political leader who shows interest. But during elections, we see them moving around. This is not to say that I am in any way discrediting all of them, but politics is a build-up. Just like a building, where the secret of every tall building is in its foundation, the secret of every strong politics is in its grassroots. If you do not capture the minds of the grassroots, you cannot capture the minds of the people. And we are talking about the number one statesman. We are talking about a race to become the number one statesman. Where else have you situated yourself? When we say like this, we understand that the people like Joshua will see they have been in the field. Barrister Akere Muna has been there, but to what extent have they had the grip to control the population, given that the person they are coming against or the system they are coming against, you will never see Mr. Bia in the northwest for campaign or in the southwest for campaign. Okay. You are going to have representative because the CPDM already has the state machinery that they are using. They already have cells implanted everywhere. We are talking about a situation where we have 30,000 plus voters voting polling station. Are you sure if you take SDF, for instance, SDF is going to have 30,000 representatives in all the regions?
SDF just announced that they have been able to have 40,000.
Are you sure that Universe, for instance, is going to have representative in this 30,000 police station?
Uncorrupt representatives.
Uncorrupt people who will not be very porous, because Cameroon is very funny that you take people who are not, first of all, well-to-do. Mm-hmm. A person that if he sees 500,000, the results can change automatically. Okay. And people who do not have the mind power, are they going to have those people and be able to sponsor them, to be able to
stay true to the cause.
To follow a true, fair, and transparent election? Is $1 million question we are asking.
Good evening to you in the studio. I must say that Cameroon, a nation we all love so much, has become more of a playground for politicians. The love for the populace is not there. How on earth do we vote people who do not represent the suffering masses? It's a very big problem with Cameroon, which is taking this nation backward. From municipal to presidential elections, representation is absent. Where are we really heading to as a nation? Terence is writing from Mutengene. Which candidates or parties appear most organized and prepared for this race, for the presidential race, Barrister?
To me, from the look of things, not even to me, from the look of things, CPDM is ready. If they say elections is tomorrow, they are ready to go on. I see SDF trying, but the first thing is that about SDF is that SDF has already made its name. It has made its name, it has made its brand, it has made its logo. Now the person that needs to prove himself worthy, it's the candidate himself, who is Mr. Honorable OC, yes, to buy the love and confidence of Cameroonians, like his predecessor, the late John Frundi, did. Yes, because he has put structures in place. I hear him, I was really listening to his manifesto the other day, how he has put how many thousand, 40,000 observers to protect the votes of the SDF at the different police stations, which is very, very important, because Cameroonians, they go and cast their votes and they go home, they are waiting for bars to be open for them to start drinking, and then who is there to protect their votes? So if Mr. OC have done that, then that is a very strong move towards winning the presidency. I just still want to maintain my stance that the orders are like Michelle Kankang that have come to animate the scene. But we still have household names like Issa Chiruma. We still have household names like Mr. Bello Buba. In fact, they have been in the limelight of politics since. And once they have the support from their base, it is a big move towards the campaign, because the huge population of Cameroonians are found in the Grand North. And you see the mobilization. I saw how Mr. Bello Buba went to, he's in Gaundere last week, and the mobilization. And then when you see Issa Chiruma, the same mobilization. When CPDM will go there, you see another mammoth crowd, and you are asking me, who are they actually following? But the bottom line is, they are actually coming out to defend whoever, to support whoever. And that is a spirit I didn't see in the other candidates. Just listen to the one you are talking, that he is in Douala. Where did he pass? I live in Bonaberi. There was no noise about a presidential candidate. We're talking about a presidential candidate. We are not talking about a mayor, who somebody who is vying to be a mayor within his subdivision, or or a councillor within his municipality. That is not who we are talking about. We are talking about the head of state, a presidential candidate coming into town, and nobody knows about it. Where are even the Meta people to receive him at Bikoko or at Bonaberi? Is he saying that he doesn't have those? So where is he going to? Doesn't want us to be following blind prophets. We don't want blind prophets who don't know where they come from. Maybe, I don't even know where they had this 30 million to go and waste. Because they would, or is it a show off? Is it that they lack visibility and they want to show off that I am like this? You have a Meta son that has 30 million that can go and throw in the coffers.
We have other 11 others. Why are you stressing on one?
No, we are not. Okay, let me go to the next one. They said Barrister Karemuna has been going abroad. Abroad to who? Why is he not starting Ngembu, where he was born? His home of birth. His native land. Why is he not there? Where is he amongst the lawyers? Last time I said, we have not seen a law dinner, just a dinner that Barrister Keremuna calls for lawyers to say, this is my manifesto, I want people to support me, because we'll give him that support as our former batonnier. Where is he amongst the Northwest elites? In a meeting of the Northwest elites, you will not see him. In Mekuda, which is the Meta Elites or Development Association, you will not see him. So where is his base? He cannot be, he's just like that floating, the biblical floating, that's the biblical floating axe. For the other, the young man is, Samuel. It's a social media
he has social media followings, and most of those social media followers, they have not. Those people did not even register. So who are we actually counting on? So if you look at, I can just count the name of 4 credible: the CPDM, SDF, and then the 2 Northerners inclusive. Because within those 2 Northerners, if the 2 don't decide to take one candidate to stand for the North, then there is still a floodgate for the ruling party to penetrate and take over. For the other one, I don't know. Those other ones are tribally affiliated, like Sesh Matumba. Those are people, they are in the Bassa area. I know Bassa just got crossed between the central region and the littoral region. They are there. When did they go to Boya? When did they go to Mbonge? When did they go to Ekondo Titi or to the Bakassi Island Peninsula? When have they been to Manfe, to Engwa, to Akwaya? Have then been to those places? SDF does not even need all those places, because in the case of Chairman John Fundi, he has been to all of those places. They have their basis, the name and the brand, the logo is already there. We just, they call the person now. SDF depend on the persona. Yeah. The person carrying the emblem, the person carrying SDF on his head is the person that determines now whether he's going to enter the presidency or not. SDF has a house, already have a household name. We don't call SDF twice, but some of those other ones. If you ask me what is Search Matumba's party, I don't even know the name. Ask me by Sakaremunda. It's just last week that I learned that they handed over Unive. We don't even know, so we don't even know what they are talking about. Let you just back out and then let those let the few stand. That is my stand on that.
Is it not too late to back out?
No, it's not too late. The ballot papers are not yet out.
They're 30 million. They cannot.
Unfortunately,
everybody has to collect money for campaigns. Yes. Now, when you see the activities, the pre-campaign activities, through them, can you get a clear message addressing the real problems of Cameroonians? Can we say, okay, when you follow this guy, this is what he wants to do for Cameroon. You follow this other person, he's addressing our problems.
I must say just some few candidates that you can actually have, an avant-goût of what they could do. Mm-hmm. I don't want to call names, since you say let's have in a general perspective, so that a candidate should not feel like we're indexing he or she. I think looking at the Cameroonian need, it is, I have seen that coming from Minister Chioma did a video. That video, if you had watched that video, you will see that it actually spoke about the needs of Cameroonians. And we expect candidates moving around to also look at this issue, at the hot areas. Now, what are the issues that Cameroonians are talking about? The priority on number 1 on the list is the Anglophone crisis. Now, in solving the Anglophone crisis, you cannot solve it by reading books or hearing from television as a candidate. You have to go down to the field. You have to also hold consultation talks. Ahead of this election, these candidates, how many Anglophone communities did they invite to actually listen to them? The real people concerned about the crisis. We keep hearing people making pronouncements. Some other, when the chairman of the SDM made his pronouncement, somebody also just came out and said, I will solve it too. In how many days? Now, we know the SDF had actually had time to cross-check. They were there for the national dialogue. The chairman was in Bamenda. So if the SDF can say that, okay, I will solve it in 100 days, I know that, okay, the SDF had this information based on what they have been doing. But you hear people just come and tell you that I will solve in the next 30 days. But these same persons have never been to the Northwest region and spent at least a week in the Northwest or in the Southwest region. Now, I want to tie with something that Song Derek said, and I've been singing that yearly. Pre-campaign activities does not only start when ELECAM publishes or the Constitutional Council publishes its final list. It starts from 2019, after President Pobia was sworn into power in 2018 presidential election. Anybody who had the intention of going for presidential election would have started their pre-campaign activities ahead of time. Song Derry made mention of an issue before I expand on other issues. The first thing is visibility. A lot of things have happened in Cameroon within a short period of time. We have not seen or heard some of these political parties actually expressing which are the needs of Cameroonians. I explained the issue last time ago about the fire incident in Douche. Song Derek, thank God you have also lambasted on it. And how many of the opposition parties actually went there? I think the only person that went there was Asong Michael, who is not running, who actually went there and spoke with some of the victims. You move now to that. There is this incident that happened when this kidnapping incident in the north, where these about 16 or how many people were kidnapped. The government actually, after some time, the soldiers, the government announced that they have been rescued. But till now, when that incident occurred, how many of these opposition parties leaders actually wrote or released a press statement condemning the kidnapping and calling for a full-scale intervention from the government? These are Cameroonians who have been kidnapped in the heat of a presidential election race. You want to be president of the Republic of Cameroon, and at least 16 people have been kidnapped. Till the incident came and passed, even till now, you have still not even visited the kidnapped victim. One woman had one of the children killed by the kidnappers. Even today, a video call to find out how is that, because little things like that are the things we take to judge how you react to national issues. Till now, none of them, if I told the best of my knowledge, apart of Chiruma that donated 500,000 when the woman was calling for a fund drive because the kidnappers were asking that she should give, I think, 50 million. They break it down. Just Chiruma donated 500,000. Where were the other presidential candidates? We are talking about Cameroonians, and that's part of the pre-campaign activities. Because if you had actually, we are not saying that you should go to the north. What we are simply saying is that make a statement and we also work with the government. They have been released. We have not even seen a statement. That is very important for pre-campaign activities and to also show that you have what, because Cameroonians' main focus is insecurity in the northern part of Cameroon. If you look at the insecurity in the northern part of Cameroon and the northwest and southwest region, it is draining down our national budget, and it is bringing down, because if you look at how much the government invests in a day on a recognizant mission for soldiers across the northwest, the southwest, the northern part of Cameroon, it is huge and it is massive in terms of allowances, per diem, bullets, ammunition, and all these things you put together. Now, we are also expecting, you see, the CPDM the government has actually reacted. The government reacted, and we were told that some of the victims were actually giving 500,000 each. Now, you see, that is part of pre-campaign activity. Indirectly, you cannot. Indirectly.
That's why you say the government. Is it the CPDM or
I said the government.
Is it the government that is in politics? Is the CPDM?
No, okay. Let's say surrogate of CPD will not take that event as that have been done by the government of Cameroon to say that it's just where you hear when the time of campaign comes. Surrogate will say that, you know, the head of state, the candidate had done this, had done that. Now you asked Mr. Akwen a very important question, that of the candidates who sound more prepared, or better still in the world, I'll join my voice again with Mr. Akwen on this, that if you look at the preparedness of some of these candidates, you ask yourself if they are going for presidential election or municipal election. Why do I say so? The CPDM had already published their list of their campaign team. You know who is doing what, who is where, who is where. The SDF also has published, the UNDP of Bello Buba has published its campaign team. Now, we are counting the last week of August. Parties have not made known their campaign team. When are they going to make known their campaign team? Is it now that they know that they are going to run for election? Because if you don't have a campaign team, a structured campaign team, how are you going to pilot a campaign for 2 weeks? You see, that is one of the ingredients of analysis. You need to know that a party is not prepared. CPDM published its campaign team scenes, and UNDP has just released their own. We hope that SDF and the rest will release their own, because if you don't release your campaign team ahead of time, it will be difficult to strike the balance. One of the important thing about releasing a campaign team is that it enables stakeholders to actually follow up with your team and contact your team for sensitive information, that this is what is happening in my community, this is what is happening in my communities. Can your leader come and address my community? As it stands now, if the public has to get to, let's say, Chiruma, who will they get to? You need to know a campaign manager of the northwest, the southwest, the littoral, the west, all over. And conclusively, What I'm saying now is that the candidates need to do massive groundwork on the field. Like Barrister Akwen said, if you move to the neighborhood and ask, do you know the party of so and so person, they will not tell you. They will not know. Even people who come on media will not tell you their party of some of these people. They just tell you that I know Eteki, I know this, but what is their emblem? What is their campaign material?
My question still stands here. I'm looking at the message. Can we say this is the message that is coming from this political party or leader that addresses the real needs of Cameroonians so far?
I think we will not completely rule out what they say. I think we should not take the platform to be a guillotine against the opposition party because they failed the people. We should also ask question that in the means of this crisis we are talking about, has the CPDM head been there too, or the government head been there? They have not. Talking about what you're saying, we have heard Barrister Akere, Batonier Akere Muna. I've read his plan about to salvage the nation, to save Cameroon from drowning, building a transition government. I think when I listen to him and his plan of action, he has something to offer. I have also followed Honorable Joshua Osi. You've hosted him on your platform.
He'll be here tomorrow live.
And when I listen to him, I see a man who has a whole lot to offer to Cameroonians. And with Cabral Libi, I started following on his platform, and Ateke Caxton. But all this, Mr. Liu, we are at a point where Cameroonians, the reason why we talk and we frown is because we are frustrated. And when you expect people to be responsible, there should be something to be responsible for. You are not just responsible for nothing. And if those we look up to for our responsibility, or those we look up to lead us, seems to be visionless, we are certainly doomed. Like I said, there is Honorable Joshua Osi. He is still standing strong as the longest serving and acting opposition party. But this time, we are not voting for longevity. We are voting for visionaries, people who have visions, people who have plan of action to salvage Cameroon from sinking. And when it comes to this point, Mr. Liu, I'm asking myself, the coalition is failing. I don't want to completely say everything is down. Why can't these people, even at this time, even at the nick of time, when you understand that you cannot be represented all over, come together and just bury themselves under a canopy to salvage Cameroon? Because the Cameroon People Democratic Movement, which is regarded as the most organized political party in Cameroon, that is one of their greatest assets, already has what we call goodwill. Please, this goodwill is in accounting terms. I'm not talking about goodwill in terms of work. I'm talking about goodwill in terms of the fact that when you have already made a name, when your name is already known everywhere, it's an asset to you. They don't need to go somewhere to say, do you know CPDM? You don't need to tell somebody that. They already have that goodwill. And a lot of political parties we are talking about are part of the SDF. In Cameroon, we may know Batonia Akere Muna. We may know Akere Muna because the Muna's family is not a strange name in Cameroon. But to know that Barrister Akere Muna belongs to Univer, Univer is a very strange name. People don't really know much about Univers. So we should do politics that is embedded from the grassroots. We should do politics that has to convince the population. This is not in any way throwing away everything, because I've seen Batonier Akere Muna in the markets with market women. I have seen Batonier Akere Muna, who has proven to have integrity in terms of zero tolerance with corruption and embezzlement. And I've equally seen Honorable Joshua Osi. That is one of the lone candidates that I can attest has visited nearly almost all the 10 regions or the 10 regions of Cameroon to talk to Cameroonians. So, Mr. Liu, the bottom line is Cameroonians need to go to the memos, to the plan of actions of these political parties. And the political parties
they have
themselves.
To go.
Yes.
Are you saying that they are not aware?
No,
can we today say that we have seen them? Is there a message that actually distinguishes everybody to say that these guys can sit and from a quarter in Bamenda or in Boya say this man wants solve the problem. This man say he wants solve the. Is there a message?
It is very difficult because this is a time, during elections time or campaign time, it is the most humbling time for politicians. But the Cameroon situation seems to be the opposite, where politicians expect the voters to come to them to ask them, what do you have to offer, instead of them going to the people. Okay. This is not about the opposition. This is not about the opposition, because even the ruling CPDM, we have not seen, we have not heard, they don't have any plan of action. They are living from the past, and the past in itself is not even a passive past.
Okay, good evening to you people in the studio. What I think is wrong with us Cameroonians is that the government has not given the opposition any chance to do their campaign freely. So, on this ground, the opposition cannot do anything. When an opposition wants to do anything, the deal will come there and ban you not to hold anything. But when it's the CPDM, nothing like that will happen. My name is Mr. Ambengwa. He's writing from Kumba. Good evening to you, to all of you watching us from Kumba. Good evening to you people in the studio. I'm Chemboni from Bamenda. Please, it is said that campaigns are to start on September 27. What then do we call these movements of leaders of political parties crisscrossing the nation? After all these campaigns, how would the population of the villages come out and vote if there is lockdown? Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm Luis in Boya. There is a street in Great Support, Boya, called Campaign Street. So any presidential candidate who visited Boya and did not come to the street, it means he or she has not started. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Greetings to the central pillar, Mr. Jarvis, especially greetings to Barrister. And okay, happy seeing her today on the program. Deacon Jude Morgan, writing from Grand Angar. Good evening, Mr. Kum and Budze Elvis Juven, watching live from Van in Yaoundé. Kudos to all the panelists. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. We see SDF winning these elections. Mr. O.C. Joshua. Okay. Excuse me. Mr. O.C. Joshua has moved throughout the entire territory. The party has a very beautiful manifesto and has put people to man all polling stations. Elekam repositioning the polling stations to public places tells you that the SDF is heading towards a 2D. Good evening in the house. I think our politicians are playing just politics of the stomach. Coalition is a game changer, but greed is our biggest barrier. As of now, the incumbent has more advantage, hopefully still going to win overwhelmingly. I just hope something uncommon happens on the 12th of October to favor Cameroon in general. Tafri Kevin is writing from our Boya. You are listening. I'm sure you are also following what is happening. When you look at it, what role does, I don't know, do we see an opposition party with a clear strategy to challenge the ruling party?
We see political parties with their strategies. Whether it is intended to challenge the ruling party or not, the issue is Cameroonians are now at a stalemate. They want somebody to take them out of these stalemates. Cameroonians know their problems. It is needless coming to say, oh, Cameroonians, you have bad roads. I will fix the road. we already know about that. What we want is give us strategy. How are you going to fix the road that will be sustainable without having coming after 6 months to maintain the same road that was already that was already done? That is what we need. Cameroonians, we need those people to tell us in their manifesto. And for the time being, the CPDM itself, I don't know what the CPDM is telling us. The CPDM is telling that we should give 7 more years to President Paul Biya. The CPDM is not saying as a party, this is what we intend to do. No. They are saying that we should give 7 years to...
during the campaigns, I'm sure they are going to reveal those things.
If they had, they would have said it. Just to leave Bonaberi and come here, I take 1.5 hours. What else do they want to tell us that they are going to fix in the next 7 years? Why this should have been what this should have been the campaign. Just like Jarvis was saying, this should have been the campaign by giving Cameroonians roads, by curing the epileptic nature of electricity, water, and cable network, internet network. Those should have been their campaign without even saying anything. But they look at, if you went to Bonaberi, the other day I took 2 hours just to turn my car because I went to buy meat. I don't know the offense I committed to go to Ndobo and buy meat to come and prepare in my house. I have to take 2 good hours. I mean, just to turn. You after Total buy meat at Minister de Soya to 10. So what are they telling us? But you see, for the candidates, Mr. Liu, Barrister Akere Muna, I repeat again, would have been a probable candidate because he has the vision. But there is, if you cure corruption in Cameroon, every other thing will take its place, because the contractor doing the road will not spend a franc to buy himself Land Cruiser instead of fixing the road and then taking his profit to buy himself Land Cruiser. He presents his Land Cruiser first to go even go and lobby. He goes first of all with his Land Cruiser. Those who are awarding contracts, they will not be taking whether it is 30% or 40%. You understand? So once you cure the corruption problem in Cameroon, you have solved half of Cameroonians' problem. Because once there is transparency, with his transparency stuff, you know, you have corruption and transparency. That is what is working, he's doing in the international affairs. Once you put those two together, you have solved half of the problems of Cameroonians. Because you will not need to go and lobby somewhere to have contractors. To have work. By your works, we will know that either is this Sketch or who or those construction companies, they are doing this. This one is credible in this type of road. This one is credible with roads that have that whose water table it's at the surface. This one is credible in this domain. It's good in working hilly topographies and so on and so forth. So Barrister Akere Muna would have been a very good candidate to challenge the regime, because this regime seems to pamper corruption. The other day I sent in my TikTok up that this system itself there is a systematized legalization of corruption in this country by creating systems that corruption is very probable and nobody is saying anything about it. CONAC does not have anything to do. So Barrister Akere Muna has the vision that is challenging this regime. Okay. And that would have been a good candidate. But my problem is, where is his base and who are his followers? That he was in the market. With who? Where is his campaign team in Douala? Who are those doing campaign to him? Else he didn't need to come. He didn't need to come. Even though being there in front of the people so that they should see their president, because I've never seen President Paul Biya for his 43 years in power. I've never seen him. At least going to the market, the president will say, oh, before he became president, I have seen him. But who are those people doing the work for him? Where is his base? That is where Barrister Akere is lacking. And I said that if he doesn't stop this elitist politics, he will take his vision and die, and they put him in the cemetery, and will be really treating the cemetery as a place where you find the intellectuals, the dons, the rich, and all one not.
There's something I have to say as far as their what we call manifestos or their programs are concerned. Come with the best program, design the best roadmap. Without the structures, you will not go anywhere. Politics is not about having the best program. Politics is not about having the best vision. Politics is about getting the people to follow your spirit and your line of action. Because I'll tell you, for example, the race of success in life is not just for the intelligent, but it's for those who can actually fight their war within themselves, those who can struggle to challenge the odds and become become what we call the risk takers. Let us look within the circle. How much of these people have the charisma to move, to actually change, to ginger the movement? You saw what happened in 2016 when Trump came to power. When Trump came, people were laughing that, oh, he's a businessman, but he changed the dynamic, he changed the race. He did something extraordinary. Everybody seemingly is doing the same thing. There's a lot of copy and pasting in terms of movement. People are doing the same. For example, the only team that is not doing the same thing is CBTM. Look at what happened in 2016. We did not have these several groups storming the Unity Palace to give their support as we have had this year. In fact, this year, I was tempted to ask myself that what is happening that in 2018 we did not see imams, we did not see Lamidos, we did not see bishops or whoever, and they actually went to the Unity Palace to talk peace before election, peace during election, and peace after election.
They were invited.
In 2016. But the way at which the Unity Palace, even university students were at the Unity Palace, to tell you that CBDM is changing the structure. CBDM know what time it is. They know that with a simple error like this, it may slip. Because as it is now, if Chiruma and Buba strike a balance, remember that whether we like it or not, Professor Maurice Kamto has a good huge following. He has not taken a stand. And as things are going, if he decides to show his weight behind a particular candidate, the vote of that candidate will swell a bit. Whether we like it or not, it will swell a bit if he says that, okay, I'm supporting, let's say, Chiruma and Buba comes together. So that's why CBDM is leaving no stone unturned. And if you see till date, CBDM are moving. They are not marketing programs here. They're just saying that, you know, Papa, don't be na man he gave una for heart. So if una vote Papa, all things will be fine. They said campaign have not started, but we are hearing people are saying that we will vote Papa or una will vote Papa. How do you strike the balance? Is it that they have different anointing? When they say something else, the anointing translate. When they say that vote President Pobia, the anointing translated that it is not campaign. When somebody else says vote this candidate, the anointing comes back and say no, it is campaign. Because how do you strike the balance that one person will go to a group of persons will be called and they will say, okay, we are trying to support behind President Pobia because we think he's the right man for the job, one that our people should vote for him. Bam! They will tell you that it is not campaign, it is support.
What you're saying is, does that answer my question?
No, I am coming to your question. Your question, based on your question, in terms of who has the policies or the programs. That's why I was just about telling you that it's not only about the programs. Have the best of the programs. But if you don't have the population behind you. Now, in terms of your program, in terms of your question, who has? First, let me start with the CPTM. The CPTM so far has not been able to lay down their roadmap.
No. Campaigns have not started. Manifestos are going to be made public.
I said
no. The roadmap is in the manifesto. It is in the manifesto that you tell the people officially that this is what I want to do.
Maybe
we are talking about pre-campaigns. Whatever is happening now,
it's pre-campaign.
Yes.
No, roadmap is part of pre-campaign. What I mean by roadmap,
they are going to put forward their manifestos when campaigns are officially launched. I'm sure the CPDM has, the SDF has, NUGP has, FSNC has.
SDF has brought in their roadmap.
Yes.
I'm saying roadmap, not actually what they intend to do, like the different things. Like SDF said they have the pillars. I'm talking about the pillars.
Pillars, yeah.
The 4 pillars, that's the roadmap. Okay. Not actually the how. The how will be explained during campaign period.
There is a worry raised here by a televiewer. I hope I read it. Good evening, Mr. Leo. The opposition of Cameroon are fighting for the stomach. If not, they would have formed a coalition to remove the CPDM government who have been in power for 43 years. Best seamlessly watching from Limbe, mile 14. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm Prince Bile from Berlin, Germany. My very special greetings to Barrister for her eloquent analysis on how political leaders are expected to win favor before, during, and after elections. Her insightful breakdown reflects a deep understanding of the political dynamics shaping our nation. I also wish to confirm with her the 4 political parties she mentioned, CPDM, SDF, and the 2 northern political leaders whose influence remains significant in shaping electoral outcomes. The rest, as she rightly suggested, seem to play the role of comedians rather than use contenders in the political arena. Good evening to you all in the studio. We really need change in Cameroon. Barrister, you have said it all. Vera is writing from Boya. Good evening, Kum Leonard. I am Sangoma Alaji Masco, especially greetings to Song Derek, Tamai Jarvis, and Madam Barrister Oboso. We are behind you, Madam. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Barrister Kere Muna have been visiting places. He even went right to Tombel. I think he just needs more of media exposure. Chief Inongena is writing from Tico. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Your program always moves me. To my humble opinion, the opposition would have gained credibility, just that they don't reach out to the common man. Jennifer is writing from Tico. Good evening, Mr. Coombs. Some of us in the Northwest knows only 2 political parties in Cameroon, the SDF and the ruling party. That's all. Yeah, this is the what I was looking for. And if you go to the Noon division, some people will tell you that the only political parties we know is the CPDM and the UDC. You go to some villages in the north, they know the CPDM and Dakole Dasala's party, the late Dakole Dasala. So, do we have enough time now to push Cameroonians to know almost all the parties now? 2 weeks, 1 month, is it enough?
Mr. Leo, I'm sure when one of the panelists was speaking, I'm sure it's Jarvis, and we're talking about the coalition, you did mention that everybody wants to take their campaign money.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm replying from the message you're talking about the opposition and coalition. I don't know how much is the campaign money given to 50 million. I don't know. 15 million. Now, we want to ask, is the suffering of Cameroonians that cheap as 15 million? For oppositions to be unable to bury their hatchets and then answer the call of the people. We are talking at a time where Cameroonians during this social media age have cried repeatedly that all opposition should come together so that on voting day we're going to have 2 candidates. We're going to have the incumbent and an opposition leader. The Fumban 6 started and then it died a natural death. Finally, we have picture, coalition, and reality, no coalition. What is that communicating to Cameroonians? They are giving us hopelessness. But, Mr. Leo, it's not yet time, if we don't call on Cameroonians, to know that our leaders are frustrating us. The ruling party, they have failed, and they have not only failed, they have failed woefully. The opposition that we are leaning on, they are beginning to fail, or they have failed. Are we going to fail ourselves? Are we going to watch them sell us that cheap? If we are not, if everybody has failed us, what next should we do? We should know that on the election day, we may not know who to vote, but certainly in our minds, in our hearts, we know who we are not supposed to vote. Because a system that has failed us for almost half a decade should not be trusted.
We are not doing
This is not campaign. This is me talking about a system. I'm not talking about a political party. I'm talking about a system. The system, when I talk of a maybe more than half a century, I'm even reducing it to decade, more than half a century. A century should be a combination of 50 years. So that system that has failed us, yes, more than half, that's up to almost half a century, is 50 years. So, Mr. Leo, I'm not calling a political party, but Cameroonians should know, because as it stands, we have parties that have presented us the candidate's name, but they have not presented us their candidate. We know that. The CPDM, we did not see a candidate drop. We saw people drop the file of the president or the aspirant, so to call, but we have not seen the president. We are even criticizing the opposition political parties who in their little effort, from their little resources, are even making effort to meet the people in person. But we have the ruling political party, we have not seen the flag bearer. So, Mr. Liu, the bottom line is that the opposition have time kicking out, but Cameroonians, the baton is back to us. The hope is given back to us, and it is our race to fight. A lot of us, after the failed coalition, if you go to the streets, I do that on daily basis, and you ask Cameroonians, are you going to vote? Because there is a failed coalition, Cameroonians feel that they are not going to vote. Failing to vote is an advantage to the present system. Let us all try to pull out in our numbers, vote, and the only thing we are going to vote for is voting against the system of corruption, the system of embezzlement, the system of bribery, the system of brain drain, and the system of leaders who build us hospital and never attend any of the hospital except abroad.
Now, this pre-campaign period, what have you seen, or what has this campaign period revealed in the political parties and their leaders?
To me, it reveals an ill-prepared people.
Okay.
It reveals the people who are doing something that ought to have been done since.
Okay.
Anybody who intended, like Vijay was saying, to be the candidate for 2025 elections could have been preparing since 2018, not today. It is now, instead of doing your pre-campaign, that is when they are doing visibility. That is when they are presenting their persona for the public to see. So, how do you follow that kind of person? Let them just wait. In fact, other than the four, CPDM, SDF, UNDP, and let the other than the four, the G4s, as I can put them, let the others actually go and wait for 2032. For those who are doing tribal politics, like those from the Bassa area, Matumba and Cabral Libil, they still have work to do. They still have work. For the others that we are seeing them on social media and they come to Douala and nobody even feels their presence, they go to Bamenda and they don't go to their hometown, to their homeland, to their native land. They go to Boya and they don't go to campaign streets. So let them actually go and wait. That's for 3032 or 2032, 2039. They are not prepared. No, they aren't. And then for Cameroonians, even we are talking just to fix things, because at least there's a time that you can adjust a lot of things, but let Cameroonians be serious. Let them not say our leaders have deceived us, or they have fooled us, or because of coalition. Let's leave coalition in peace. If a Cameroonian cannot see now that we have only 4 probable parties that have at least some level of degree of national coverage, and to choose from amongst, if they say the regime have failed, which one is left? Fall back to the one that is left, that have possibilities and potentials to even win, or to come second and vote, and automatically that one will leave from second to come first. Let us stop talking about the leaders who come. I think coalition is not an, it is an English word that is so sweet, but it's not easy to practicalize coalition the way they are saying it. Simply fall back to the next probable candidate if they actually want a change. For the CPDM, they are not telling us anything. They are just saying, no, we should give another opportunity. And I want to react to one of our audience who said the political parties cannot actually do campaign because the duo will come out and then they will block when it is CPDM, which is quite correct and which is a kind of a sarcastic move by the government. It ought not to be so. But you see, campaign does not only mean going to the street. Now we have social media create a platform. Nobody stops a political leader from going to village meetings. Nobody stops a political leader from going to associations and saying that, oh, just be part of the association and present. Go as far as you can go. Just go and attend the Wimbo Cultural and Development Association. Yes, those to have started since, not now. So they must not like go out. Like you tell a preacher, you must not only go to church to do your preaching. Now you can do preaching from your phone. You can go to your village association and decide to dish your word of God for 5-10 minutes and they will give you the floor. So pre-campaigns ought to have started since immediately after President Biya was declared the winner of the presidential election in 2018. Not now. What they would have been doing, preparing their groundwork, putting themselves in order, their words in order, or whatever nomenclature they call it. Not today that they want, but to show their faces to us, let them go and sleep. That 30 million, they could have given it to their village and give to the Northwesterners and Southwesterners who are dying of hunger.
We have been doing what we call the prime poll. So I want you watching us to tell us which political party or candidate do you believe looks more ready for leadership and why. Just send that message, the name and the party. Which political party, according to you, or candidate do you believe looks most ready for leadership and why do you think so? Just send the name of the person. But let's look at pre-campaigns and the way Cameroonians react to politics. We are too attached to our countryman, our brother. How do we break through this?
That issue about the countryman and our brother is a major issue everywhere, even in the developed world. It's something that's so difficult to overcome. For example, in the United States, you talk here about the black vote, the Hispanic vote, the Caucasian vote. If the United States, the bedrock of democracy, can still be talking about the millennials, the Caucasians, the black vote, the Indians, the Israelis, the Israeli vote. So you see that it's still, that's their own way of tribal. It's still, now what of us in Africa that we don't have that different mixture of race, but we have the tribes. You remember that our nation, Cameroon, the state Cameroon, or the contextual definition of the state, the Republic of Cameroon, is made up of several countries that came together. Like you have the people from Way, the people from the pre-colonial days. These people were independent. They had their subculture. Now they came together to form one fabric. It's difficult to break that, but however, you can reduce it. How do we reduce it? Number one, our presidential candidates or our politicians, like Song Derrick said, they need to grow up in politics and not limit. Because what they are doing in politics is as it was before, as it is now, so shall it be. They don't draw examples from other neighboring nations to gender the stage. Let me give you an example. They say that, okay, the GO will disturb them. I granted the GO will. But let me ask, will the GO stop any presidential candidate or any politician who go to a church for a Thanksgiving and attend a church service and beg for at least 2 minutes of the church service to introduce himself? With that due, stop that politician? No. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. Peter Obi is attending church services every Sunday week, any opportunity that attending church services. Do you think that Peter Obi too much like the God that he wants to go to heaven every day? And whenever Peter Obi goes to a church, or all the Nigerian politicians, whenever they visit a church, they will always be giving an audience. It is in that moment that a mother in a side will say, hey, this man, oh, this politician, I know, because that's where you start introducing yourself.
This person we saw on TV attended church service.
Yes, attended church service with us. It goes a long way. That's the same thing is happening in Kenya. Look at Kenyan political climate. They are attending church services on a regular basis. Today, this man will be in Presbyterian church. Tomorrow, he's going with his team at Thanksgiving service. Thanksgiving, you can give Thanksgiving for any other church as long as nobody will stop you. For example, I don't know, Barrister is not a Catholic, but your church is, I think it should be apostolic. The day if I'm a politician, I tell your pastor that, pastor, I want to come and fellowship in your church with my team. We want to come and give thanksgiving. I'm not sure your pastor will refuse. Your pastor will welcome us as new, and then he will introduce to us that today there is this person or Jarvis and his team. They have come to visit us. Children of God, let us clap for them. Let us give him time at least 2 minutes to talk to us. I will not be campaigning. I will just tell you people that my name is Jarvis of so and so party. I felt it wise to come and fellowship with you people today and to introduce myself to you people. I pray that God continues to guide and protect your pastor as we live. Know that you will always be in our heart. That's it, simple as that. With the Dio stop, and I've been singing this on this platform. That's why I say that most of these political parties, they need to get what is called consultants who are not members of their party. These are strategists that work with them from the year round in. The same second issue is market. Let me keep churches aside. Market. If our opposition parties or politicians visit market, nobody will stop them. If the day that you decide, I'm going to Bonamusadi market, you get your entourage, you have to go to, it's your right to visit the market. The Joe will not stop you from visiting market. First, you're a Cameroonian. Second, you are also a figure. So when you go to the market to buy, let's say Barrister Akwen is a politician. If Barrister Akwen says she's coming to Bonamusadi market to buy with her fellow party members that are supporting her, moving with her in the market, nobody stops Barrister Akwen. In the process of that, Barrister Akwen introduces herself with the market master or the market coordinator. Before you want to come here, I've actually negotiated with the market sellers. Hey, this Barrister Akwen, I came to buy that. We are seeing it happening in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Uganda, and elsewhere. Our own politicians want to do their own pre-campaign publicity just to come and hold rallies. It's not only about rallies. Rallies they come a time for rallies, I agree. Keep aside market. Let me take the next future. Town halls. Town halls are important moments where a candidate or a politician can go to a community and decide to say, okay, let us have a talk about our constitution. Let us discuss the issue that you don't like in our constitution. Those are not moments which are politically inclined totally, but those are education. Secondly, thirdly, how many of these politicians have been visiting chiefs on a regular basis or communities? Let's say I say I want to visit, whether political or not, the chiefs will give you audience. They will give you audience. Because I will tell you something that if I get up today, I say I am a politician, which is not an election year. It's not an election year. I'm not talking about an election year. I'm talking about the pre-period. I visit the chief of Munya, he will give me an audience. And I also need to be charitable. If I'm visiting the chief of Munya, I know that I'm going to give the poor of Munya something. Maybe a borehole. Maybe something that will ginger the people. Politics need money. It needs also services. When you hear Peter Obi go to the north, they will say, flood, he donate this, he donate that. Do you think that it's because he has a lot? No, it is because he's marketing his brand. We don't have politicians who are marketed. The only opposition politician marketed the brand was Chairman Ni John Frundi. Why? Because if an accident occurred along any place, the next morning, the chairman is there. If it is a fire incident that happened, the next day, the chairman is there. But we have politicians who today believe that their popularity will come from they are copying from President Paul Biya's playbook, because they believe that they are already statesmen, and so it is the people that will get to them. Not when the chairman of Fuji was alive, you could call him as anybody. He will pick your call. He did not need a protocol. He did not have that protocol that says that call my PA who give me phone or seek book for appointment. The chairman picks, he gives his number to the public. Our ordinary day politicians now in Cameroon, those 12, have you tried to go to them? Is their PA? There are 5 PAs. PA number 1 will agree whether that call should be picked. PA number 2 will want to know the content. PA number 3 will want to know whether or not that person is a threat. PA number 4 will just say he does not want to talk to you. Then he never receive you again. How do you expect that campaign period to be effective and ginger? Okay. Conclusively, what these people need is political consultants who are not members of their party. Okay,
I want to remind our audience there is a poll that we carry out every evening to tell us who is the best candidate qualified to rule Cameroon. The question reads, which political party or candidate do you believe looks most ready for leadership? And tell us why. So many of you have been writing. This one says, SDF Joshua C. I believe he will save Cameroon from sinking. Good evening, Mr. Koum. The only party is SDF. Reason is popular to all regions in Cameroon and have experience. That is the only hope after CPDM party. Raymond is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Your program is really moving me. I think the UNDP of Bello Bubam, because he is having more supporters in the 3 northern regions. My name is Hamza Idrisu from Bamenda. Thanks. Good evening, Mr. Leonard, to all the panelists. CPDM is the party that is ready. This is because CPDM is well organized, represented nationwide, have the means to carry out an election, have the personnel to volunteer and follow up its voters, among so many other reasons. Kimbi Jut Ndi, writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, panelists. Akere remains the best candidate for this dispensation in Cameroon. Every change in an organization lays on the leader. A party may be well structured, but who is the face of that party? Greetings, Mr. Liu. For me, SDF is up to the job at the presidency. I'm Etue Henry, writing from Kumba. Mr. Liu, I can only give my vote to the SDF if I have a choice. This other one says SDF must win this, even God knows. Okay. This one says, good evening, Mr. Liu. Regards to everyone in the house. I'm Asha from Banyo. We all ready here for Mr. Joshua OC. We really need him for Banyu. Okay, so these are the polls coming in. Keep them coming. Yeah.
Mr. Liu, I wanted to react on the question of the question you posed, that the issue of my countryman.
Yes.
Yes.
How do we make use of it?
Should I say make
because
use of it?
Because
I think yes,
they don't vote because of the manifesto. Just because,
I have been on platform where somebody would tell you that the Indian people are not voting because of President Paul Biya. They are voting because of His Excellency Chief Dr. John Gute. The people of maybe Misaje are not voting because of this. They are voting because of yes. So my problem, my challenge is this. Do you think that if those people you call are competent and are servant to the people, the new government, or if there's a change in government, it will not choose the same people? Because if you are working, Mr. Liu, you are the managing director of My Media Prime. If you have a journalist, one of your journalists, let's say Faith Tata, tells you that I don't want the managing director, Mr. Kum, to be changed, who is 90 years or who is old, because if he comes, I might not be the editor-in-chief of My Media Prime. Do you think you're going to take that person to be competent? I think there's a problem with competence, because if you are competent, you are working for the people, you are close to the people, you are doing what the people want, and a new leadership comes, that leadership cannot change you when the people are behind you. It is only when you work for a person, and that is one of the greatest problems of Cameroon politics. Cameroon politics is person-centered rather than people-centered. We are so loyal to a person to a point where we feel like once a person is there, we vote even when we don't have the basic necessity.
That what you are saying, what you are saying is what ought to be. But Cameroonians vote their brothers and sisters.
That is true. That is true.
How do we capitalize on this?
Do you know that in voting brothers and sisters, that is where meritocracy has taken the backstage?
Yeah, but that's the reality.
And yes, the good side. The good side should be.
That's what you're asking. How can we capitalize on the good side?
No, we have to capitalize on the good side. That is where we will still come back to the fact that
there was a need for a coalition.
Yes, there was a need for a coalition. Let me land, barrister. There was a need for a coalition where, if there was a coalition between the two northerners, SDF of Honorable Joshua OC and
Patricia Ndamjoya.
Yes, if there was that coalition with those other people, whether we believe that they are tribal inclined, if there was that coalition, it will be stronger, because back in the north, the coalition will make use of former minister Issa Chiruma and Bello Buba Magari, and in the southwest they will make use of Honorable Joshua OC. In the northwest they could make use of Batonia Akere Muna, and maybe with the youth wing of Ateke Caston and Samuel Iyodi, it will be very important. But if that is not done, I think we are still going around these circles and making Cameroon politics a comedy republic.
I want us to, after you, just come in.
Okay. I want to say that this issue of tribal politics had been a seed that was sown in the life of Cameroonians to separate them. It was a political strategy to divide Cameroonians by the current regime to reinforce its capacity in the nation. Because one will observe that when President Biya came to power in 1982, his first crusade was on rigor moralization, preaching against nepotism and tribalism, that those were the things that we must forget. At that time, he was referring, that was like after the attempted 1984 coup d'etat. But that time he brought that rigor moralization to put Cameroonians back in order and to tell the Northerners that in Cameroon we shall not be practicing tribal politics. All Cameroonians are the same. But along the line, he abandoned that vision. He abandoned the theme of that crusade and then set disunity amongst Cameroonians by disuniting them with these tribal affiliations. Because if you look, for instance, when John Frundi decided to go out of active politics and left Mr. Joshua Osi in 2018 to run for the presidential election, that was at that time Mr. Philemon Yang was still the prime minister. You see now, when Joshua Osi became the chairman of the national chairman of SDF, they immediately dropped Yang and then they went to Ndian division where Joshua Osi is coming from, and then they picked the prime minister. When Mr. Fundi started SDF, and it was Sadu Ayato that was the prime minister of Cameroon at that time, they dropped Sadu Ayato and pick Pachidiachu. And do you know the proximity between Baba and you pass through Baba to go to Bafachuepa, Achidiachu is coming from. And that is how what the government have been using it, and that is what Cameroonians have come to take. Whereas that is not what you ought to be. You don't follow somebody because it's coming from your tribe. Even if my husband said today I want to be the president of Cameroon, if he is not fit, I am not there. If you are not, it is not for he who wants, it's for he who can. What does the person who is fit and proper, what does the person benefits? All those ministers, for instance, are in Yaoundé. What are their villagers or their tribe? What are they benefiting? Peanuts, bag of rice and sabon. Can't you buy a bag of rice and sabon? They come and give you promises. They sit in air-conditioned offices. They ride in Prados given to them for free. They go to the filling station. They don't pay fuel. They go to in their homes. They don't know how much they sell food in the market because everything is in a budget. And then they take the peanuts and come and drop in your at some market square. You go and carry it, and then you say, "I cannot vote for this person because this person is here." What is he doing there? Cameroonians of everyone know that politics is first of all a game. It's a self-interest game. But when it comes to presidential election, whether the president likes it or not, he is there for the nation. Remember, no African goes to power, and even American. Trump wanted to secure the second mandate. For him to secure the second mandate, he must first of all please Cameroonians in his first mandate. But if you want to vote on those bases, go and vote your parliamentarian, go and vote your mayor, because you directly benefit from him. You understand? But if it comes to the president, let the fellow know that we are bringing somebody who is coming to change the socio-economic and political dynamics of the entire nation. He has to change what he criticized. He has to fix it. And so Cameroonians will take away that tribalism. It has been implanted in us, but we can take it away by not abiding to it, I think.
Okay, I want us to look at the polls. It has been consistent for the past 3 days. I want us to react to it. This one says, my candidate is Metro Akere Muna. We need justice. Good evening, Mr. Leo. My best choice remains Mr. Issa Chiroma Bakari. His objectives as a candidate inspired me more. Njam is writing from Banga. This one says, good evening, Mr. Leo. And my regards to all the panelists. SDF, headed by Honorable Joshua Osi, is the best and will be the next president of Cameroon. Cyril is writing from Muyuka. Good evening, Mr. Kum. SDF is my best party. Please, I'm calling on the youth to stand up and vote for SDF and make change in this nation. David, writing from Obala. Good evening to you all. To me, is CPDM because it is everywhere and well organized. Sangoma, okay? Good evening, Mr. Liu. I believe in the SDF to lead Cameroon, but still not believing in the Constitution Council for a fair result. Edmond from Kumba. Your program is the best. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Liu, the Cameroonian prodigy. Sir Honorable Joshua Osei is the only credible opposition candidate. He has our votes. Ma Lydia is writing from Banga. Cameroonians don't trust any leader now, so they don't believe in change with the regime or any candidate. The only solution to Cameroon problem is, okay, I won't read that. This one says, my candidate is Metro Akere Muna. We need justice. I'm sure you are sending it twice. Joshua Osei is the most experienced Anglophone candidate. Okay, good evening, Mr. Leo. I think Joshua Osei is the best candidate because he is from a party that is flanked by now. Okay, good evening, Prem. I really appreciate your program and will like to add my voice concerning the presidential election. We should be honest to call a spade, coalition or no coalition. It's time for an Anglophone president. Good evening, Mr. Kum Leonard. I think SDF and the presidential candidate Joshua Osei are prepared for the presidency. Daddy Ambiance is writing from Tico. Mr. Leo, good evening. What Jarvis just said is gospel truth. Look at the case of Bello. Since the Anglophone crisis, Bello has never uttered a word, talk less of visiting Northwest and Southwest. How can he think the people from these regions can trust him? G. Ignatius writing from Bamenda. I'm Noel from Bamenda, Joshua Osei of the STF. Okay, good evening, Mr. Leo and the panelists. My candidate is Mr. Paul Biya. I love his party because it is well structured. You see H people in their rallies, all with voters' cards, not like other candidates who goes and bring young boys without voters' cards. Okay, this one says, to answer your question, I propose Honorable Joshua Osei, reason being that SDF is a household name and John Frunzi had prepared the foundation for him, judging from his 1992 presidential elections. Okay, yes, we can see the trend. It tells that, because I don't know, can we understand what is happening here when we go through the polls?
Yeah, from the polls you see that some names have been reoccurring, and like we have been saying, Barrister pointed it out, like as though she has actually read the polls. Because if you look at, you have Honorable Joshua Namangi. See, you have Isa Chiruma, you have Bello Buba, you have Pobia, you and Akeremuna. So you have those are the 5 names that you see reoccurring there. And from that 5 names, you see that the Joshua Nambangi Osei is actually taking a consistency in terms of those who are having a favorability. You remember that since the pool is all about a favorability. And now, why is that favorability? It's based on what Barrister Akwen said from the beginning of the program, that the SDF, the chairman had done a lot of work for the SDF. The chairman implanted SDF to every nooks and crannies of Cameroon, where it is a party that has a name already. Now it depends on who bears the flag of that party. That will be the issue that will get people to cast ballot or not to cast ballot. It's now there for whoever is the flag bearer now to see how it can capitalize on the effort made by the chairman. And that's why I see that party consistency in the pool. I've been talking about SDF. Because the people are not ignorant of what SDF from time immemorial has done. The people are not ignorant on SDF stand at the parliament. You talked about the issue that what are these parties doing to make sure that they answer the need of Cameroonians, or portraying the needs that are they portraying the solution that Cameroonians need. The SDF has portrayed it at the level of the parliament on when the Anglophone crisis started. We saw how it was brought to the parliament by Joseph Honorable Weber under SDF. We saw how there were 2 moments in the parliament in city where the SDF took the restroom hostage and started protesting, oh, you go kill with tire. We saw drama where the other side too, where SDF was singing Opeiva Mal, the other side was singing Solo SDF Kiva Mal. The people watch those videos and understand that these parties are risks they have something to offer. That's why you see the consistency. With Chiruma, the people also are looking at it on the perspective that, oh, this has been a former minister. Because we cannot take that away from Chiruma, that his position as Minister of Communication, Minister of Transport, and Minister of Employment and Vocational Training gave him a lot of popularity for his name. People know the name Chiruma, but very few will tell you about the party. You see, they are talking about Chiruma, not his party. But for SDF, they are not only talking about SDF, they are mentioning SDF and Joshua Osi. A message that will come here, SDF and Joshua Osi. It means that the people identify themselves first with the party before identifying themselves with Joshua Osi. But with the pool, you will see that people are talking about Chiruma and Bello Buba. Very few of them will talk about Chiruma of the FSNC, and also very few will talk about Bello Buba of the UNDP. They will just talk about Bello Buba, Chiruma, and Pobia. They're talking about Pobia and CPDM because these are established parties. You now see that the pool represent what we have been talking about, the knowability of Cameroonians as far as distinguishing the party from the personality is concerned. And that's why you see anybody that's talking about Joshua Osi, it's easy for them. That message will be attached with Joshua and SDF. People say somebody talking about Chiruma. In 10, you see they will talk about Chiruma. 9 will talk about Chiruma without mentioning his party. Why? Because they know that he has benefited. His popularity was given by the minister. With Bello, the same thing. Bello Buba has been a minister for prime minister before and has been minister for tourism and leisure since. And even Petit Pays sang his name, that anybody who has been listening to Petit Pays music will tell you that Bello Buba, my garage. So it tells you, Monfred, you know. So it tells you a lot that people know that name than Bello Buba, his personality. So going by the pool, that is my analysis conclusively on this, is that the pool is giving you the reflection of what we have been saying, that established party with a good base stand a high chance of people easily throwing their support on it than people who just get up overnight thinking that, hey, there's a presidential election, boy, go drop your candidates, we will hear you. They just people drop. Remember that some of these candidates that even dropped did not make declaration. They only made declaration when they were dropping. Some is even better. There are some aspirants that people even knew that they were going to be candidates who never even deposited. That people already knew that they were candidates making wave already. But some of these, they are even better than some of the people who are running, because we at least knew some of those who did not, who had announced. Because there's an issue here. If you are going for a presidential election, it is not a walk in the park. You do an announcement ahead of time so that people start preparing people's mind. You don't just come Nicodemously come at the night and you just say, hey, I'm going for candidate, like it's a show of strength. To me, some of that 30 million, like Barrister Akwen said, let's take it and dig borehole. Because as it stands for you collect 15 million for campaigns. But for you to collect the remaining balance, you must have proven that you have had a certain number of percentage, and for you to collect by a 30 million, because the 30 million is caution. You must have, I think, at least 3 or 5% of the vote before your 30 million is given to you.
Okay, we continue with reading some of those who have written on the polls, the question of the polls, which says that, which political party or candidate do you believe looks most ready for leadership and why? If you are watching, just send a name of the political party or the candidate. Which political party or candidate do you believe looks most ready for leadership and why? This one says, good evening, I'm watching from Kanchi in Misaje subdivision. This one says, SDF Joshua Osi Nambangi is my candidate. Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. The people in board, I think we need somebody like Traore in Cameroon, not coalition. Isaac is watching from a cock. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I will go for Barrister Kerem Muna. Enongene Alexis writing from Tico. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Reverend Kum Divine watching from Bole. Bakundu, we just pray for a peaceful election. Amen to that. Good evening, Mr. Kum. For the sake of change, with so desire, I will take the risk to choose Joshua Osi. Hello, Bello Buba is the best because he has more councils after the CPDM. Itabison is writing from Mamfe. Mr. Akum, just consider that was election you conducted. SDF will win. SDF will, okay, this one says SDF will always be my next option. Ashu Mason is writing from Bamenda. Bonsoir, monsieur. Léo ici. Le programme du SDF a capitalisé sur le changement total et complet au Cameroun. Joshua aussi a remporté cette élection sans aucun doute. Merci. Eric depuis Bamenda. Okay. Aussi, this one says, aussi Joshua is self-centered. He doesn't merit any votes. I prefer Koremuna. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Barry from Limbe. The program is the best. Thank you, sir. Okay. This one says, our future president of Cameroon is President Serge Matumba. He masters our problems more than we do. Okay. This one says, SDF is the right candidate. Oh, okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and your cool panelists. I'm Victory, watching from Limbe. Our best candidate is O.C. Joshua. Okay. Now, you want to add? Okay, come in.
Yes, you can see from the polls. You can see where interest lies. But I want those people who are saying that I'm not discrediting their party or their preferred choice, but I want to say that you don't vote for a party because it has an organization. Organization is not good governance. If organization was good governance, we would not have been having opposition challenging them. So you don't vote on basis of structure. They are well structured. How are structured fix the road from Ron Point to Bonamusadi? How are structured fix that road between Bikoko that they take 4, 5, 6 hours to reach to reach Ron Point? So those should not be those are flimsy reasons why you should support a party. You support a party because of credibility, good governance, and good action plan and action on the ground. That is probable, not vague possibilities and promises that are never attainable. And then there's some other people vote for looks, they charisma, someone charisma. We don't need charisma. We have Abdoulaye Wade, who was the president of Senegal around 2004, 2005, thereabout. 2003, 2004.
He took over from Abdou Diouf.
For Abdou Diouf. He had no charisma. He was just like frail looking, but he won the presidential election and took Senegal from where Senegal was and put it in place before the next president took over. If we're looking at looks like Museveni of Uganda should not be the president because you see charisma. He doesn't have charisma. He has intellectual capacity to carry the people to say no to the West.
Like Mugabe.
Yes, like Mugabe. Those are the factors that should convince you as to who you want to vote. But at this time, they should know that at this time, let's have a change. We have had the same system. I don't mind CPDM, but can they give us another candidate? We have lived with. I was in. You know when President Popiak, I was in class 2 in primary school.
Yeah, but the constitution.
I thought I was when Haijo was the president.
The constitution does not bar him from. We should not.
Yes, yeah, but even if it is CPDM, let them give us a change. Seeing some people like.
Are you a militant?
Let us want.
Are you a militant of the CPDM?
No, my party is in the ballot box. I don't tell people my party in the ballot box.
Let the CPDM decide who goes for this.
Maybe it's a consensus.
I want a change.
You are reading of the polls so far.
Well, like we can see that a lot of people are associating with SDF of Honorable Joshua O.C., and a lot of them, more others, are talking about the Northerners, Issa Chirma, Bello Buba Magari. As it stands, I hope they have their voters' card and they are not voting only on social media or on the polls. On that day, they will definitely have to prove what they are saying. Not only vote and defend their vote, because a lot of Cameroonians were challenged. A lot of us, like Barrister said at the beginning of the program, that people go cast their vote and they are waiting for the time that bars will open for them to drink and forget that a vote was casted, and results only take us by surprise. If sincerely this is what we believe and this is what the viewers want, let us see how it will reflect, because the system we have doesn't take social media votes.
Okay, it doesn't take social media votes, but please, a wave. This is not social media vote. These are persons who are watching in their homes. If I post this on my Facebook page and people respond to that, that is social media. These are persons like you and I. They are writing from their homes. They are watching on TV. This is not social media votes, please.
Maybe media votes.
The pool has a lot to talk about. It is a data. It gives a picture of a possible expected outcome, because, like you said, these are people who are in their house.
In their houses watching. It's not social media, please.
That's why I say it's not it's not a media. And I appreciate that, but I'm saying that it should not end with a text message. It should be backed. Yes, it should be backed by action, because there are a lot of them who are discouraged in their house. It's confident and easy enough to tell you that SDF of Honorable Joshua Osi, but on the D-Day of votes, a lot of them will be discouraged.
I have a contrary idea, but to me, I just think this pool is advantageous for political parties to actually take and work more, because if you are having this is a data, if you are having this, then the political party need to go on the drawing board and say, okay, this is the data we are receiving. What do we need to get more of these people to get them now to the polls? Because without this, the politician may not be able to go to the drawing board and know how to draw their card. And that's why I'm saying that, like you said, this is very important. It's very important, because a political party, after having watched this video or this discussion, they should go now to the drawing board. That's why I say that these political parties need to recruit consultants, not party militant, people who understand statistics, people who are not emotional, who have nothing to do with their party, but who can give them strategies that this data, make use of this. Unfortunately, most of them go by party affiliation. Like some of them have not met economists to talk with economists to know how the economy is doing. They have not met this, they have not met that, but they have political vision, economic visions. They have not met entrepreneurs. They have not been seen them having dinners with entrepreneurs. Do they need to, will an SEO come and stop them from having dinner with entrepreneurs? Have dinner with entrepreneurs, talk to them, know their mindset, know what it takes. Have dinner with civil society leaders, have dinner with church, with pastors of different churches. Discuss with them, know what you can do with the social sector. Have dinner with the different sectors. We are not seeing them having. They are copying and pasting CPD and strategy. And when you copy, you don't have the original copy, because the person will oversee you, will overpower you.
Okay, we want to thank you guys for coming here. I'll read some of the responses. Next President Joshua Osi of the SDF. SDF has been very consistent in their quest for change, refusing any compromise with the government all along since its existence. In Kesa, Emmanuel is writing from Fundong. Good evening, sir. SDF is the best. Alfred is writing from Kumba. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The best candidate for the presidential election is His Excellency Paul Biya of the CPDM. We don't have serious opposition leaders who can bring change. They are not ready to help Cameroonians. Sumbele Kelvin is writing from Kong Samba. Good evening, Mr. Akum. My preferred candidate is Batonia Keremuna because of his fight against corruption and poor governance. Charles, writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I would like to advise my fellow youths to keep tribal politics aside for these presidential elections and vote for change. They can practice tribal politics in the legislative and municipal elections. Etienne is writing from Yaoundé. Okay, so obvious the trends are coming in. We can all follow the program. If you missed it, catch it tomorrow 1 p.m. to get a trend what the audience think about those running for the top job in Cameroon. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo, and thank you for co-panelists for sharing our minds and calling on Cameroonians to know that we must vote a candidate who has vision and can show us our tomorrow, a candidate who has credibility and can use trust, and we can trust the words, and a candidate who has connection and do relate with the people when they cry, because posters will fade away, slogans will fade away, but hunger will never fade away.
Okay. Yes, thank you for coming, Barrister.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. Just want to thank our fellow viewers and those who have reacted to the polls and reacted to the subject matter of this Press R. We thank them very much. They are the reasons why we are here. We just wish to tell Cameroonians that they should stay positive. Change is possible, and what they should be thinking now is about change. We are done with stereotypes, we are done with tribalism, we are done with nepotism. Let that be a thing of the past, and let us embrace to the new future for those who have the vision. As for the other candidates whose names are not just featuring anywhere, they should just prepare for 2032. At least they start, let them be building their foundation now, and then by 2032, they must be have been as visible as possible with their names and faces and the slogans and logos for Cameroonians to know and be sure about them. For now, it will be very, very delicate for us to cast our votes to unknown persons.
Okay. Thank you for coming, Travis.
Thank you very much. My appeal to the candidates is that please get to the different stakeholders on board, have a dinner with them, understand because you may be wanting to solve a problem that is not their problem. Brief anecdote is the people that there was an NGO that went and conducted or had a borehole in the north. They did a borehole in the north thinking that they want to solve the problem of women not moving from a distant place to go and carry water, but not knowing that they were actually causing a major problem for the women. The women protested that you have brought water in nearer us and we no longer enjoy our freedom again, because the only time we enjoy as freedom is when we will leave our husbands' houses to go and carry water from a distant place, and we discuss with our friends and we have that moment. Now you have brought the water here, you have killed our freedom. So to you think that you thought they were providing water, solving the problem, whereas they were not solving the problem, they were creating more problem. And that is a picture of Cameroon politics. You may be providing a solution, but a wrong solution, thinking that you're providing a broader solution.
Okay, thank you guys for coming. The names keep coming, and the name of the candidates and a political party keep coming in. We thank you all for watching the program. Special thank you to the production team. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., we are going to have Honorable Joshua Osi live with me in the studio to also talk to you and send some of your questions to him. I'm going to open up a platform tomorrow for us to receive questions from you. In the evening, I'll put these questions to him to talk to you, answer your questions. So thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.